All right, got the motor back for the turquoise car, but just remember when I was saying machine shops kind of iffy around here? Yep. So, I mean, the machine work's not bad, but I wanted the thing freaking hot tanked. I paid to have it hot tanked. I wanted it freaking clean. So that way when I assemble the darn thing, I can paint it. You know, and it's not hot tanked when I can scrape the crap off or scrape the grease off with my freaking fingernail. So, yeah. And I can't just re-hot tank it because now the bearings are in it. And so I'd have to knock the bearings out of it to get it hot tanked again. And when I dropped it off, there wasn't rust in the lifter bores. So now there's rust in the lifter bores. So now I have to run a little hone through the lifter bores to get rid of that, and it's annoying. You know, sucks. You know. All right, so far I got the short block together. All the pistons be in, crank, rods. Now I can go ahead and put the cam in and all that, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that tomorrow. I need to get to work. I was supposed to get to work like 2 hours ago, but I decided I want to get all the pistons in. So, but yeah, short block's done. Kind of on a cool note, this motor here takes 20 foot-pounds just to spin it. So, versus I got it's a small block Chevy that's down there under the bench. That's actually a brace motor. It's a Honda rod, so it uses the bearings of a Honda, like a Honda Civic motor. Uses the bearings of a Honda, and well, not a Honda Civic, but a smaller Honda size engine. Uses the bearings of a Honda on the rods, and then it uses a small journal for the crank on the. So it's got 2-inch journals on the crank, and then it's like 1.8 or something on the rods, and super lightweight piston rings. I mean, it hardly has any tension on the cylinder walls, and they're 1.5 millimeter. And that whole motor right there, it took like, I think it was like 6 foot-pounds just to spin the motor. So that was a high revving, lightweight race motor. But I never got to race it. Piece of shit blew up. Wasn't the motor's fault. Something was in the oil galley going to the crank bearings, and it just didn't let oil. I mean, on the gauge it would show full oil pressure, 80 pounds, but there was no oil being delivered to the crank. So, thought we had oil pressure, really didn't. So, yeah, that motor seized up and done. So, built another motor. Now I got a large paperweight. The only reason I kept it is because the pistons in it. Anyway, nobody cares about that right now. The only reason I mention that is because that motor only loses 6 pounds, or that motor only loses 6 foot-pounds of torque and a 6 horsepower to spin the rotating assembly, when the big block loses 20 foot-pounds of torque and 20 horsepower just to spin it before the even starter even spins it, before it even fires up. And granted, this motor was pretty much already. I put the original bearings back in and the original rings and all that because they were in great shape. There was no reason to change them. So they're already pre-broke in. So on a fresh motor, this thing might be 25 foot-pounds. Never know. But I did put new cam bearings in it because whoever installed the cam bearings last didn't put them in right. So they like oblong the hole to get the cam bearing to line up right. It was hokey. So anyway, that's in, done. Now I can start putting the cam and stuff in it, all that. I got a nice Lunati cam I'm putting in it. And the cam I'm going to be using, it is, actually, you know what? Let's just open this sucker up. I forgot the cam specs on this thing. Bear with me 1 second here. Alright, here we go. 1 staple, 2 staple, 3 staple, open. So this cam is, alright, yeah, so it's only 475 lift on the intake, 494 on the exhaust, and duration wise it is, oh here it is, yeah. So yeah, at 50 it's 220 and 226, so it's bigger than a stock cam for sure, and the lobe separation is 112. The reason I chose this cam is I want this thing to have a lot of low-end grunt and mid-range power, and this cam's perfect for that. plus this cam with those 452 ported heads I have right here. I mean, these things are really ported. They're nice. So with these ported heads and the compression that the motor has now, it's 10-to-1 because of the pistons that are in it, and also it's been decked, and the heads have been decked to like probably 40 thousandths, 45,000, something like that. So yeah, this should be a solid 10-to-1 motor. So 10-to-1, ported heads, nice, good low-end mid-range cam, and you know, I have the Elbrock Performer RPM. This should be a good 450, 460 horse motor, and probably have like high 5 foot-pounds of torque, and probably have like 575, 580 maybe. It's gonna be a lot, so should be a nice setup. And then maybe throw 150 shot of nitrous on it. You never know. But not building it to be a race car, it's building it to be a good daily driver, which this motor should be a nice daily driver. It should be a whole bunch of low-end grunt power. And the torque converter I picked for it was the Hughes Towmaster. So it stalls to like 1800, but then it has it's a larger size converter, so it's a 12-inch converter. So it'll have a lot of cruising power. It won't spin a lot at cruising speed, so it'll stall to 1800 on the low end to get, you know, out of the hole and get good grunt low end power. But then on the top end, that larger converter will not have as much slippage to it, so it should actually cruise pretty good. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and yank all that crap out and just put an overdrive training in it later. But in the meantime, it should run pretty good. Anyway, I gotta go make some money. It sucks, I know, I gotta make a living. I have to pay for all this crap. Alright, see you. Alright, motor came out tits on the cam. 108, just like the cam card said it would be. So now that's all agreed, now I can start slapping this sucker together. Moving on. Got a big old orange heavy chunk of iron right here. Just checking the oil pressure. See, I got a little gauge just tapped into the back of the block, so just a little autometer gauge right here. I'll go ahead and set this sucker. We'll put that right there. So go ahead and spin it over, see how much pressure we got. I already did. I'm just gonna do this to show you guys. But you know, right at about idle RPM, it should be about, well, cold. So you got 70 pounds, 75 pounds. Of course, that's 30 weight oil and cold. But hey, motor's all put together. The cool part is when you get to start assembling all the new brackets and stuff, because right now it's just a big old chunk of orange blob. But once I get all the pulleys, I'm still waiting for all my brackets and stuff to sew up, but I got my pulleys back from powder coat. So start getting those on. Engines look awesome when they're all decorated up with all the accessories and everything on them. So looking forward to that, but at least it's all together and done. Alright, well, first off, yeah, I know it's a little bit lighter up here now. It was getting way too hot for that long hair, so cut it off, gone. But I just got back from the Mopars at the strip, or Matt's muscle cars at the strip. And, well, I've got an engine. So here is the engine that's going to be going in the turquoise car. All redone, ready to go. Everything's been powder coated. I had the exhaust manifolds ceramic coated, so they'll stay this color, and they'll be keep the engine bay nice and cooler. I got all stainless exhaust for it now. I got Borla mufflers. I got stainless pipe, all stainless bends. So I'm gonna go ahead and build the exhaust for that. Give you a quick rundown of the motor. It is a 1974 truck motor. That's what this originally started out as. So 1974 motor. It has had a steel crank put in it. It has the LY rods with ARP rod bolts. It has, you know, the heavy forged TRW pistons in it. It has a Lunati 220, 226 cam at 500 lift. Fully ported 452 heads, springs. It has the Mopar Performer RPM no, actually, I'm sorry. It has the Mopar wedge intake, which is just a copy of the freaking Elbrock intake. And for right now, I'm just gonna be running the stock 383 carburetor on top of it. This is actually a 440, like I said, it's a 440. The original engine for the car is sitting in that black bag right there. So I'll be rebuilding that motor, but in the meantime, I'm just gonna go ahead and run this thing. It looks great, don't it? Ooh, ah. Yeah, but we're gonna put all this prettiness into the turquoise junkiness. It's gonna be sweet. Got the transmission rebuilt. I'll show you that in a second. See, the transmission's rebuilt. Got a rebuilt drive shaft. I have all the exhaust. The only thing I'm waiting on to put this engine to the transmission and put both of those on the K-frame and put the K-frame and all the suspension, drivetrain, everything back in the car is a torque converter. I'm still waiting on the torque converter. And I'm just going to go ahead and order an SFI flex plate. I don't know, probably never going to break the stock one, but I don't know, kind of buy once, cry once, spend $100, get the good SFI flex plate so that way I don't have to worry about breaking one, you know, pulling or showing off or hitting with some nitrous. But yeah, I'm actually going to go Phytech fuel injection on this. So for right now, I'm just going to run the stock carburetor. I don't feel like spending, you know, $400, $500 on a good used. I don't like buying the cheapy carburetors that are like $350 new. They suck. The metering blocks are garbage. They're crap. So I like buying good carburetors, and used ones are still $400. So this one here is rebuilt. I'm just gonna run this guy in the meantime till I can afford to put the Phytech on it, which I know it's only like $700-800, but I'm already pretty strapped on this car. Like I told you guys earlier, I had 14.5 in it. Yeah, not anymore. It's gone up. A couple of things I got at the Mopars at the strip is I needed this either pulley, because this is an AC car and an AC is going to work in this car. I'm not going to run that big cast iron dual piston air pump. I'm actually just going to convert this over to a Sandin 508. So I ordered the Sandin AC compressor bracket, and then I ordered the Sandin compressor, and then I'll modify the fittings so that way it works with the stock lines. But this car is going to have AC, it's going to have heat, radio, all the comforts of what it should have been, because it's hot in Vegas and I don't want to sweat my balls off. But where was I at? Oh yeah, so I got that either pulley. I got these pistons here, pistons and rods. I'll probably just throw those in a motor. Screw it. You know, a lot of people say you can't run aluminum rods in a street motor. Bullshit. You know, we run those. Hi, Sam. What are you doing, Sam? All right, back up. Beep, 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 beep. There you go. Anyway, a lot of people say you can't run. Yes, hi, Sam. Can't run those aluminum rods in street motors, but I've had buddies that have run them. I know people that have run them, and I'm not worried about it. Plus, the only reason I bought them is because it was cheap, and these are Aries. I think I said that right. Aries, whatever. They're forged Aries piston, dome pistons with the 1/16 piston ring, so they're good pistons. They're 30 over, so I can slap those in a 440 and have a pretty bitchin' motor. Plus lightweight. What? Oh, I got all stainless piping here. Yeah, you don't normally go to a Mopar swap meet to buy piping, but there was a guy that had a whole bunch, like 3 crates full of aluminum and stainless 3.5-inch piping, in which, you know, I could build an exhaust system out of this. It's kind of a tight radius bend, but for what I'm going to be doing, it'll probably be alright. But I figure I can use this in Daisy. So, this is all stainless. Stainless 3.5-inch bends. I got them for $10 a piece. No brainer. Bought a bunch of them. So that way I can build the whole exhaust system for Daisy. See, I got those. I got that. I got the speedo cable I needed for the turquoise car. I got the shifter bushings I need for the linkage. Leonard got some stuff. Leonard paid like $120 for like 4 little pieces that you can, when you're holding them in your hand, you can't even see them. See, oh, yeah, I had everything. I was able to, after the show on Friday, I was able to swing by and pick up all the powder coated parts I had done, my pulleys, my either pulley bracket, everything black I had powder coated, except for the power steering pump, of course. New alternator, I think I already said that. So, my motor mounts, those were all powder coated. Got my new ground strap. I'm gonna go get some more hose so I can finish the breather tube. Anyways, let me show you the transmission. It's all rebuilt, done, ready to go. So, like I said, still waiting on the converter, but this is the numbers matching transmission to the turquoise car. So I figured, well, I'll just go ahead and slap it in. I was thinking about putting a deep sump pan on it, which I'm probably going to end up doing that. I do have a trans cooler for this. So I got a B&M trans cooler that's going to be tied in with the stock cooling lines. So trans is there, fresh rebuilt drive shaft. This is actually the original drive shaft of this car. See, it's got a balancer on it. That was 68, so like I said, it's an early 69, so a lot of the parts got tied into that they used from 68 into 69. On the inside, they're not Dynamated. So, boom, I had ordered more Dynamat. I have, here's my brake lines that go along the firewall. So I got those. And then I figured I'd just show you a couple of new additions I have to the turquoise car. These are actually some original Charger exhaust tips. I stole these off of Mike's GTX, don't tell him. This box right here, full of all polished stainless exhaust pipes. So, like I said, I want to build a full stainless exhaust for this car. And the reason I'm going full stainless exhaust on this car is, if I did it in mild steel, yeah, of course it's cheaper, way cheaper. But then by the time you get the exhaust system ceramic coated, it's the same price as if you would have just built it out of stainless, just about. So I was like, screw it, I'll just make it out of stainless. That way it'll last forever, longer than the car. So I got some stainless V-Vang clamps from Monkey Fab, which these are real stainless. If you buy this Chinese shit off of eBay, that's like $18 for a V-Vans. That's not stainless. That's got some copper and some zinc and steel, and it's got whatever the hell else is in it. It does not weld like real stainless. This welds like real stainless. Like I said, polished stainless exhaust pipe. I got a new exhaust hanger kit for it. So, all new exhaust tips, or all new exhaust hangers. I had my steering box. This is the original steering box out of the turquoise car. I took it down and had it rebuilt. So, that sucker is fresh and ready to go. This is just some more straight pipe I bought, stainless, just in case I needed it. I don't want to get in the middle of building the exhaust system and then run out of pipe. More powder coated parts. I had the fan blade powder coated. The drag links powder coated. Like I said, I went and got a speedo cable and some bushings. Got a new mini starter for it. Got my idler arm and my pitman arm for the steering. I got all new tie rods. Everything is new. This car is virtually restored except for the outer skin and the mirror and the grille. Okay, the outside of the car is not restored, but everything else under that is. Let's see. Oh, here's my Borla mufflers. These are stainless as well. I got the center offset, so that way it's, half-ass quiet, but then when I punch it, the loud pedal makes it squeal. Alright. Yeah, as for new stuff, I think that's it. I still like the control arms, the lower control arms, those have already been done. I think you've already seen videos of those. I had this was the original vacuum canister. I put it in Evaporust, so that way I got rid of all the patina on it, and it's actually in really good shape. So I'm just gonna paint that sucker black again and bolt that in. Still waiting on my seats. Shocker. So I need my seats, which, Ariel, if you're watching these, what the, dude? Come on, man, I need my seats. Anyway, that's what I got right now. Let me see. Like I said, I think I showed you the rear suspension already. I already showed you. I boxed in the subframe connectors front to rear. Only fuel line, the brake line, everything is in the back's new. We got new front shocks, so. Nice, Sam. But well, just gonna have to do it day by day now. See if I can't, get the sucker done before I leave North Dakota. But still a lot of work. I mean, just the exhaust system alone is gonna take me. Well, since I can only work on it so many hours a day, I'm going to assume it's probably going to take me 3 days. Probably two. To tack it all up in place, and the next day go ahead and weld it up. I want to get that ugly silver box out of my driveway. Well, if you've seen that, Frank, I don't really mean it, but it's ugly compared to my Mopars. Yeah. Well, I think I got some Mopar buddies showing up today. Today is Saturday. The Mopars on the Strip are still going on. There's still one more day as a Mopar on the Strip. But I'm not going to go Sunday. There's no reason to go for me to go. I saw Steve Darnell at the show. That was cool. Bullshit with him for a little bit. You guys know him as a welder up. Well, anyway. I got to try and get to making some money for at least some of the day. Because I am broke. I spent way too much money on this turquoise car, so I gotta make money. It sucks. Alright, later.